you don't understand is people are just not utilizing these platforms like Twitch and TikTok properly.
Yeah.
They're just going on there going like, dude, there's literally kids. Twitch is fucking fascinating because there's literally kids on Twitch and they're like, all right, we're going to do the 30-day solitary confinement challenge. I'm going to sit in a room with neon lights that never turn off and I'm not leaving till I beat Elden Ring. And you're like, that's on par with Guantanamo Bay level torture. You understand that, right? Yeah. And then TikTok's just like, all right, what's the thing I'm supposed to do today? And you're just turning yourself into an NPC. And it's like, dude, these platforms, if you take a moment to just like step outside of like what will get you trending and you just focus on them and go, how could I use this platform properly? That's why I'm doing quick little plug. I do Big Red in the Morning, and it's basically like a fun little music talk show. Brother, it's your birthday. Get more in the camera.
Hey, I'm more in the camera.
I'm just saying, we got all this over here.
Hold on. I was more worried about my cat's genitals and his bites.
Didn't you cut him off?
Yeah, but like, you know.
Does he still have the sack?
Maybe, yeah.
Diesel still has the sack.
They leave the sack. I don't know why they leave the sack necessarily. Maybe it's just aesthetics.
Something for him to lick, I think.
But yeah, he has the actual like like the little pouch and everything. I guess maybe as a reminder.
Diesel's got his little. He's got his little ball bag, and he's got like because Diesel's kind of a short hair cat, or like a medium hair, I think it would be. But his balls are very prominent, so it looks like he's just got a tiny little fuzzy coin purse in the back of him.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah, that's what Stanley's rocking here, but obviously, it's on full display most of the time. And he's got a little mark here on his face. I didn't know what that was. He might have gotten
I think it was from the many haymakers you hit him with.
Probably one of the little haymakers, or maybe a haymaker his little sister gave him, but... Hey, baby, we're here. We got some leaders.
Yeah.
Woo, baby.
Happy birthday to the great one, Pat George. If you guys see this, message Pat. Venmo him
$300,000.
No, man. Venmo him a small amount, but amount that Pat will accept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. $200,000. Just a measly 50
just
grand.
a minuscule $200K.
50 or 60 grand.
We know you have it.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Everyone who listens to Drag the Lake are stockbrokers.
Help me remove the rest of my cat's genitals.
Yes. Help me make my cat just the front part.
Yeah. Or, you know what? Let's start swamping him. You know what I mean? I want to swap him. I want to take his and put him on one of the other cats.
Well, you know what we should do?
Take the other one, put it here.
Let's make a cat dog, but just butts.
Yeah, all butts.
All butts cat dog.
Oops, all butts cat dog. Oops. Just the other halves.
Oops, all butts cat dog.
Yeah,
so we didn't plan this, but it is actually unofficially bands who had a catastrophical breakup crew neck day.
Yeah.
Because Pat's wearing his Jesus piece. I got my Every Time I Die.
Yeah. Where a possible lead singer drama could have led to the entire.
Yeah.
I don't know as much with the Jesus piece thing.
Well, I've been utilizing my TikTok. I turned into one of those white ladies who like solves a murder.
Oh yeah, you point at the stuff behind you. What? Ladies?
Yeah, I'm fucking hardcore TMZ right now.
Hell yeah.
I'm actually aggressively trying not to be that because I realized because I got a bunch of people following me off that, and I go, if I let this could turn me into a problem because I don't want to just be a drama page, but I just thought the Jesus piece, you know what it was? The Jesus piece is like one of my favorite bands right now.
And also
so it was like more personal and everything, and I was just, the timeline was weird because it was so weird when they posted it. It's like just out of nowhere, Jesus piece on their main page, they just post a picture of the three band members without the lead singer Aaron, and it just says Jesus piece is dead. And it'd be one thing if they just were like, we're broken up. It's like, we're broken up. Also, Aaron's not in the picture. And then you read this whole description, and it was just basically, it was one of those where it was like clearly taking shots at Aaron, which I don't fully know why they do this. Like, that's actually what made me love Every Time I Die around Hot Damn or Gutter Phenomenon when they kicked out their bassist. They didn't like go like, yeah, some people in the band weren't just blah, blah, blah. They were like, yeah, man, he just was like kind of a dick and didn't meet the vibe. Like
Yeah.
they were just straight up. They're like, we know you're talking about the bassist.
Yeah.
And they were just like straight up about why they kicked out the bassist.
We assume that if there was a problem in the band, you didn't keep the problem and kick out the other person. You know what I mean? That's assumed. So like we know it's the bassist. You don't have to trash him. You can just say he didn't match, like you said, like he didn't match our energy, or we're not, like we didn't see eye to eye creatively, whatever the felt. Like you don't have to be like he was difficult or he's a some member like and
someone
especially when you're like
problem.
like there was a member that had a issue and it's just like and the only one that's not in the picture like.
And I get
stop being so cryptic. It's can I, if I may, it's woman behavior. It's like that thing of
Can
like.
I put a minor caveat on that though?
Please,
because
it's bitch behavior. It's not like I'm not saying this. It's not calling women bitch. It's not saying it's saying that most of the time it's like this. It's that thing of like. I'm just gonna get you in trouble, like because like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like passive aggressive.
It's on par with that.
But I will say one caveat on there is there are when I was like going through different band members' responses, there was they kept throwing out shit about money. So there may be like legal things they can't get specific on, maybe.
Yeah.
So there is. I will give the band a degree of like dancing around it. But when it comes to like when you get to the point where they're like taking shots about like, oh, you guys weren't there for me and blah blah blah. That's where I go. All right, this is all like just shit you guys should be talking about. And that was like my big takeaway. And that's why and I think a lot of people were comparing this to Every Time I Die, and it is fair because one of my big takeaways from the Jesus Piece thing, they have the band post something that's like very passive aggressive at times.
Yeah.
Aaron, their former lead singer, he posts like a fucking 10-page thing on Instagram, which I don't know if you've ever seen the meme, but it's not really a meme, but it's just this tweet people repost all the time where he's like, yeah, man, I ain't going to read all that shit. Yeah. I'm happy for you or I'm sorry, whichever one makes sense. And that's how I saw the whole thing. I read some of it, and after a certain point, I go, I'm not reading all 10 of these or however many.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's like the cliff notes. Like you know what I mean? Like, can you just like I know you want to give your side of the story and all this other shit, but it's also like, who has the rights to the name, like, and the songs? Like at this point, if it's all equal, like, or do you like who?
I don't know what your context on saying that is.
Like, why can't it continue with? You know what I'm saying? Like if they're saying like we don't want to continue without all the members.
Oh, well,
and it's
so
also
actually there's some shit in that okay. I'm getting to. But yeah, so the last thing I was gonna say is just it just be like, I think a lot of times when bands make these announcements, I definitely think for their benefit, so people on the internet don't like aggressively, wildly speculate, it would actually benefit the bands to be more direct. It's not that you necessarily owe the fans, but just to like avoid problems, because apparently people were going in. It was kind of hilarious too how quickly people turn.
Yeah.
And don't let me forget the shit about the money in the name, because I do have something on that. But it is kind of hilarious how quickly people turn. Because if you look at the post the day of Jesus Piece announced breaking up, all the people are in Aaron's comments just being like, they're calling him like Judas Priest, they're calling him a bitch, they're calling him a bad friend. And then the next day when he explains his side, everyone's like, I knew you were the fucking man, dude. It's like, so that's the thing. It's like, the fans get so gossipy and fucking crazy. It's like, guys, these dudes at the end of the day are just like regular dudes. Like I saw someone posting when I did like the whole timeline of events, someone in my comments, and this is why I don't want to turn into like a drama thing with on here or like when I talk on shit on TikTok and stuff. Cause it's like the one person was like, yeah, I think their drummer works at a grocery store. And I was just like, yeah, they're just regular guys. Yeah. And now people on the internet are calling them like fucking Judas and pieces of shit like that.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, while it is smart to sort of give people enough info to not speculate, at the same time, whenever I'm reading overly personal bickering, I always just go, you guys should just talk to each other. Like, you shouldn't be doing this here. You should be talking and because
I would even have argued that with Every Time I Die. Like, even though they're arguably bigger of a band, like they're, more successful, let's say, commercially, but like even them, like I was just like, for the guys that they are, they've never necessarily been those like big drama dudes or the here's the dirt, kind of thing of and where. Obviously, that speaks to the situation, but with these guys, if they are just regular dudes or whatever, just tell us what the deal is. If the band is done or if the band isn't, who can continue with the band or the songs or anything like that.
So let me kind of answer that. So that was the next step in the whole thing that was fucking weird. So Jesus Piece, the official account, they post, "We're done."
Yeah.
And then the next day they were like, "Oh, by the way, if you see anyone under similar names promoting," once again, clearly talking about Aaron, but they're like, "If you see anyone under similar names promoting us, that's not official." And then if you go over to Aaron's Instagram, in the bio, it says like "proud father, frontman of Jesus Piece," spelled with a $sign now.
Yeah.
And then he posts a tour poster of like something, I don't know, what was the guy's name? Young Lean or something. One of those SoundCloud rappers is like headlining some big festival that's got a bunch of different types of bands. And like you have Aaron, who's now in Jesus $sign Piece. He's being like, "Me and all my friends are going to this." So it clearly is some, and then you see other members throwing out shit about money and shit like that. There's something going on with legal bullshit.
Yeah.
There's something going on because it's like, from the vibe I get, is like they're both trying to dispute who actually owns the fucking band.
Right.
And that's the interesting, weird part. That's the aspect of it, like, that's the aspect of it that I would eventually love to hear info about. All that personal shit of like, you don't treat me right, that's private shit they can go figure out in therapy. They can film some type of monster and figure it out over there.
Yeah.
But the legal shit is fascinating to me because I go like, what the fuck? Because honestly, too, if you sort of get that on the table, then we can be a little bit more clear of like who's the dickhead and who's not the dickhead.
Right. I don't care. Like, ultimately, I love the band and I think the songs are great, but I'm not necessarily tied to any of the dudes.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Like, I don't know. Like, I think seeing them live, I thought it was great. The lineup they had. Obviously, this is the lineup that they've said like they've been together for 10 years or something like that almost. So like, I get it, but okay, well, is there going to be Jesus Piece anymore or not? If you don't want to do, they're saying like one half or three, I guess 3/4 of the band is saying it's the band's no more.
Yeah.
Because he's not in the band anymore. The only way we want to do the band is if he's in the band, but we don't want him in the band.
Well, I think it's more so. The vibe I'm getting is Aaron may have been doing a little bit of like shady shit with like the name of the band and the direction of the band and what they're doing with the label. That's if the other guys in the band are telling the truth, that's the vibe I get. I also too, a lot of people were being like, and this just reminds me of Gallows all over again, where people get way too fucking married to the front man, and I get it. In a lot of these bands, like Aaron's energy in those like Hate 5-6 videos are literally a big reason why Jesus Piece got popular. Because if you pop those on, first off, it just stands out because it's the middle of This Is Hell, and you just see a bald black dude on stage, and you're like, wait, what's going on here? Like that's not. Yeah. He's probably like the one of maybe 3 African American frontmen at a hardcore fest and shit like that. Yeah. Like at most. So like that stands out. Then you hear the band fucking rips. And, his energy is really a big thing that draws you in. But I always that was always my thing, like when Frank left Gallows, and people would be like, well, they're not Gallows without Frank. And I go, do you think he wrote all the guitar riffs? And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like Aaron, I don't know if Aaron wrote every fucking song.
And that's what it comes down to with me is, as somebody who is learned a lot through watching sports and stuff over the years, they're all just teams. Like it's all. We were talking about this in the past of like the band of Theseus. Who's
the what?
The band of Theseus, or the ship of Theseus, of where all the pieces gets replaced, and then
sure.
But there's like all of that, but after a while you just realize like bands are just teams. It's all it is their names and songs. Like obviously the heart of a lot of the songs, if they're true artists or whatever, but a lot of times they become businesses or they become whatever. Not that they lose the rights to those things. It becomes more impressive when you can compete with all of these younger bands as the original lineup of a lot of these bands, but it doesn't happen often. Like even with Metallica, where Lars Ulrich has not necessarily been the most dazzling drummer, now he's like literally a bad fucking drummer.
Yeah,
he can't continue to compete. But Metallica, those songs, that could still keep going.
Those are
everybody
bigger
can
than
be
Lars being
everybody can
shitty.
be Guar. You know what I mean? Like I don't like this version of Guar right now, but like I think Guar can absolutely.
That mean they can't though? You know
what
I mean? You said this version of Guar doesn't feel like Guar though.
But I don't like them. But that's the thing is like it's the same idea of like when a team gets new management. Sometimes like you're like I don't like the direction this is going. Like I stopped rooting for the Tampa Bay Rays because I'm like you don't give a shit about the team.
I hear what you're saying. I think it depends on the band though, because like Every Time I Die, it's like Keith's not the whole band. But the band without Keith isn't Every Time I Die.
Right.
And Jordan and Andy aren't the whole band on guitar. Like, truthfully, no disrespect, Every Time I Die proved they could pick many drummers. They've proved they could pick many bassists. So no disrespect to the guys who were last on drums and bass, but like, is Every Time I Die just Jordan and Andy on guitar? No, but you can't. It's not Every Time I Die without them. Many Eyes and Better Lovers is proof of that. Now, there are some bands like Chiodos. I genuinely think if Every Time I Die came back without Keith, a lot of the fans would be like, this is very weird. We don't like this. But at the same time, Chiodos came back, and it's literally just Craig Reynolds and a bunch of dudes. No one seems to have like that. There are people, so they re-released their first album and like remastered it, and I like it because it sounds better. A lot of people are mad because they didn't give the original guys a cut, where I always just go like, after a certain point, you got to be like, did you guys worry about keeping royalties? Yeah, but anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But it's like the vast majority of people didn't care that much. So I think it's like, it almost feels like it's up to the fans.
Yeah.
Because I think the fans with Jesus Piece would be, I don't know. I think a lot more fans would be like, if Aaron starts a new band and calls it Jesus Piece, I don't know why I would feel weird about that, because just like, it's not that I like have any passionate connection to the guys in the band, but they always felt like a band outside of just interchangeable parts. So like, if Aaron's moving on with a whole new band, I feel like that makes me, there's something about that makes me like Aaron less.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be as into the band. Now, if they put out an album and it's fucking amazing, do I get over that quicker? Probably. Yeah. So I'm just being real about that.
That's what ultimately that's what I mean, is like the feeling of the band is like that. You have to, I think you still have to establish like a same thing with a team or an organization in general.
A vibe.
Even if you are a band for 10 years and you have established whatever you have in those 10 years, and you kill it for those 10 years.
Yeah.
Even if you stop there, you can't necessarily be in the GOAT conversation because you've had this small body of work. You can hold a couple records.
Wait, I'm sorry, say that again?
Like if you're saying if you want to be considered a greatest of all time, you can look at other organizations that have had longer success for more time. You know what I'm saying? Like ultimately, just the number of championships you can't say you won. Like in 10 years, you can only accomplish so much as a band or a team.
Yeah.
But if you like somebody that's been around like the Canadians or something like that, Montreal Canadiens for like 100+ years and have won so many championships, you can be like, okay, well, one of the greatest organizations of all time. Jesus Piece can't necessarily, there's no one side that can take this and go with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but if we could establish, like, one side is not fighting for it. One side is saying we want Jesus Piece to be done. And like the three guys, they're saying it's done. If we can't continue with the whole original lineup, we don't want to be the band anymore. Whereas Aaron is saying, "Fuck it, I'll take it." Yeah. And I think they're just like, no. It's not like we're not giving up.
Yeah, we're not giving.
We're saying
you the band.
It's over. We're 3 votes to 1.
Yeah,
and they don't, and he doesn't have enough power. So it's not like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like somebody can go off and do their own solo thing. He can't go do Jesus Piece. He should just start his own thing.
It's very weird because
it just sucks because it's like this weird limbo where like I just like the songs at this point. I just like the songs and I want to hear Jesus Piece.
And
songs.
It's also too. It's weird. It's because the vibe I get. The vibe I get is the band's like, we lost trust in Aaron. Now, do I think Aaron's like this abhorrent piece of shit? No, I'm sure. He might just, have a different direction or mindset that the rest of the band doesn't jive with. And because also they said Jesus Piece has been dead for a while. You got to imagine if you have that level of animosity, he's probably also acting towards them in a much more negative way than if they were more friendly with each other. Right. So I think the band's just kind of like done, but like just emotionally. And Aaron was apparently in a, like, I just found out about them, but they're one of those like bands that has like kind of a cult following. Like they were significant in like smaller hardcore spaces. So he did it before. He's become like, I mean, it's funny. He's also known as like one of the best. It's kind of like they say it tongue in cheek, but he's like known online as one of the best moshers ever. Because there'll just be random videos of him at shows, and you're like, he's a fucking ninja. Yeah, it's crazy the way he can move. It's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon out there. It's like he's considered one of the best moshers in the world, and like so he has this like following behind him, and I go. Dude, if you would have just kept it, it's like if you would have just kept it cool and not gotten weird, and just start a new band. Yeah, people would have galvanized around that because that's like, we joke about it with the swancore genre, but hardcore's the same way. If you're in one hardcore band, you're actually in 4 hardcore bands.
Yeah. You could do it, and so like it's not that like the artist, the guitar player, like we were saying, no disrespect to them, like even Aaron, the singer, like it's great. Like if they continue to go, cool. But like it just sucks that you won't be able to hear these songs live again. Like that. Like
that sucks.
That's like where like neither one of you want to like. If 3 of you are in agreement here, you don't want to play those songs anymore. Like you don't want to just have somebody else like
weird. You know what I think it is?
They're probably like if we fire him and we just have a new singer, and this is just speculation, obviously. But if we just continue to go on because he's such an issue, then like he's gonna make it a bigger issue, and he's gonna do shit like Jesus Piece with a $sign, even whether we're doing it or
get
not.
Better. And then they also probably know like legitimately it's gonna be tough to replace him.
And also we don't necessarily have the right. Like they're probably being realistic of like we don't have an agreement, so we don't have the rights to just kick him out and just continue with the band. The band was all 4 of us. If it's not all 4 of us,
they all equally own it.
I kind of respect that, but it's also that's the bummer of it because we're still getting all the stupid drama and shit, but we're also not going to get any version of Jesus Piece. Like even if Aaron does it, like it's probably not going to last. He seems to be. Just again, purely speculation. Maybe the more unstable of the half, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I
not unstable, but
no, I wanted to. I'm not
explosive.
I'm not saying it like he's like fucking bipolar and he's a menace and he's.
We're not saying he's Keith Buckley in the tub.
No, well, because also too, like to be fair, like dude, if I had to work with people I didn't like I would be spazzing on them constantly. Right. It's like, and then if
you had to live with them, if you're on tour with them,
if you're on tour with them, you have to like work with people you genuinely don't like,
and then perform with them.
You're gonna act shittier towards them.
Right.
Put him in a group of dudes that he's friends with and that get along. He's probably not, and it's like
that's how we got to where we were.
And to be completely fair, I doubt that the whole band's innocent either, because that's what, it goes back to my original point. I think these are dudes who used to be bros, and then they stopped being bros.
You changed, bro.
And now they don't. It's like they just should have put the work into being bros again. They should have put things on pause and go, hey, we're not bros. How do we be bros again?
Yeah.
And if they didn't do that, and that's why the band broke up. And I don't think it doesn't feel like anyone's more at fault than anyone else.
And the reason I think people may be more out to blame Aaron is because these guys are just saying their argument is we aren't bros anymore, so the band's done. And like that's like a shitty. It feels like you're giving up, but maybe they've tried. Again, we don't know. But it seems like the other one's just like acting like. The other side is just acting like, what do you mean? Like,
I think
I'm here with my real friends, and you're like, hey, man.
Well, this reminds.
It feels like you guys are being bad bros, or you're not being a great bro, and your bros are sad.
You know what I think it is? You know what I think it is? It reminds me of when I had to break up with this girl, where I was like, hey, we make great hardcore music together, but we got to stop. No, I had to break up with this chick because, you know. The one day we were watching Jersey Shore. This was back in college, and I was hanging out with this chick for like 3-4 months, and we were watching Jersey Shore, and Mike the Situation brings back some chick, and she was just like smoking hot, and I just involuntarily go, God damn, good for you, Mike. Dude, that turned into like a 3-hour screaming match. Jesus, like, and I was like that, and like you'd be like, that was the last nail in the coffin because. There was a lot of warning signs that, you know, big fat titties were kind of getting in the way of. Yeah. But it's like, I knew this was going to happen. It was just like, you know, maybe, you know, getting a lot of pussy and sucking on big fat titties makes you kind of push that off till as late as humanly possible.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's what it was with Jesus Pieces. They were, you know, because I think this thing happens with a lot of these bands where they make good music together, but they have a lot of like the personalities clash a bunch. Because you see this where it's like some of these bands where you're like, you're literally one of the best bands ever. How can you guys not get along?
Yeah.
And I think it's like after a certain point,
it's usually the drummer.
After a certain no, I think it's usually the bassist. After a certain point, I think the respect for everyone's ability gets outweighed by how annoyed they are with each other. Because I think the respect for everyone's ability is what keeps you going for the longest time. And then after a certain point, you're like, I don't care how fucking good he is at writing music. He's a fucking piece of shit. Because it just piles up every shitty thing they've done to you.
Especially in bands. Like that, I saw it with like, and that's what happens with I think a lot of like local bands or like smaller, like more independent bands is the fact that they just can't handle that.
They can't handle the dynamic.
Each other's egos. And it's because that's the thing is like everybody always, it sucks because it does usually point to one person being the problem. And like in the case that I'm familiar with, like with my friend's band, they blamed it all on their drummer.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, he's the problem. He's, you know, so irresponsible and all this other stuff. But like he fucking rips on drums.
Yeah.
And it's like after a while, they kind of all were like voted him out essentially.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like it was a thing where it's not that they were necessarily wrong. He was not matching the vibe. And even though he was the best fucking drummer that, you know, even the best member or whatever, but it got to such a point where they still had that contempt for him to where they were kicking him out. So like, I know that this does happen and I know that this is like, but it just sucks. But like to me, what's the point in all of this? It just kind of, what's the point in all of like the drama and all the things like for at this point now, even keeping the name Jesus Piece and still continuing to do the songs as like, if Aaron is doing that, it's like,
what's the point of that? Because that's the problem is like so much of this stuff is like,
it's such a huge asterisk.
If he's, I think I would guess he was trying to do that, not thinking about the shitstorm that would flare up.
Yeah.
I think if he's smart, he'll just start a new band.
Although I will say that I'm willing to admit how wrong I am right now. As I Lay Dying, that's essentially what Tim Lambesis does every fucking 4 years.
Yeah, but
he sheds his band.
Yeah, well, that was
and then he grows a new band.
Well, that was the funny thing. Remember I told you after like a year or so ago when the whole band left.
Yep. Again?
Well, no, that's the. But no, not just again. Everyone was like, "Damn, that's crazy," and you're like, "Yo, do you guys know this happened like 2 or 3 years ago?"
Yeah.
Like, not just that it happened once; it happened recently.
It's happened.
But but the thing on top of what you just said, though, what's the image of As I Lay Dying now? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're still a band, but like every time you do shit like this, people think less and less of you.
But like I mean, they still have had success. They still have I don't know about success. They still have continued. He has still been able to continue a career.
Yeah.
And they have continued to put out records and shit.
Well, now
and I'm saying they, but it's really him.
Yeah, but
right?
I think in the broad scheme of everything, though, it's just like I'm sure you can make a living.
And maybe this was so like maybe the Jesus, maybe the 3 parts of Jesus piece are like looking at that and going like, we don't want Jesus piece to kind of lose that. We want it to keep the integrity of what it was. It was respected, it was loved.
Yeah.
It was all this other shit, and then like we're just gonna end that, and then they're not saying we're quitting music. They're saying
of course not. But
this
going
band
back to your
done.
Going back to your As I Lay Dying example, it's like, yeah, any band could just keep going and just have the name and use it as a brand. But at the end of the day, if you're diminishing your brand, if you're diminishing if you're just watering down this piece, what?
But I forgot, Black Flag just announced a new tour.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, no. It's
one member.
No. That's the thing.
4
It's like
teenagers.
that's the thing. It's like you can have a long list of things you can do and still keep doing the band. But after a certain point, it's like when the Misfits are playing at Coachella. You're like, fucking are they? You know what I mean? It's
Stanley
like
wants to kill himself.
The Misfits are playing. It'd be like the Misfits are fucking playing Coachella, and you're like, are they? You're like, oh yeah, that one dude that's been in the band the whole time, the one dude that was in it for 4 years, the other dude that was in it for 6 years. You're like, is it so like if you just do that shit over and over and over again, yeah, you can do it and make some money, but it's like, I don't know, man, we're doing fucking art over here. You're diminishing the brand and the quality of this art.
I've got the solution. You ready? Sorry, I freaked my cat out.
No,
you thought somebody knocked.
No.
Here it is.
I know you were looking at your cat.
You ready?
Cutting off my beautiful rant.
No.
Watch.
I have a solution.
No, it's okay. My wife just does that all the time. Go on.
Okay, well, Andy, I mean, and honestly, you could pick your socks up, okay?
What? Well, Pat, you could clean your pussy out.
After the original lineup has changed. I
apologize. My wife has a beautiful, clean pussy. That was just a joke to say Pat has a pussy.
My pussy's dirty.
Pat's pussy. My wife's is a beautiful pussy.
Immaculate. I heard from Andy. Only Andy.
I was going to say, where did you get that info? You're like, I read her newsletter.
On Craigslist.
You haven't got her issue of the Pussy Press?
Yeah, you haven't got that one yet? Centerfold, brother. Hey, Andy, I want to shake your hand. No, I don't like where this joke's going. I don't like this joke anymore. But if as soon as a band, and like there has to be some kind of, they have to have one full length release. Pause. There is.
Oh, jizzing. Okay.
If there is,
how's that a pause?
If there is a change in the original lineup,
yeah,
and like we can discuss the original lineup. If we're talking about the drummer leaves, if the bass player leaves,
with
you know what I mean? Like the rhythm section,
with the exception of like a Descendants, where the drummer writes most of the music,
right.
But yes, and I say this as a drummer, vast majority of the bands, the drummer and bassist could leave,
right,
and you wouldn't even notice.
And you have to establish. Let's say this: when you start the band, you have to establish which members are the most important.
Are the guys?
You rank your members.
Yeah,
if you lose a top 3 member, you can continue as the band, but you have to change your name to the band's name and then the word songs right underneath. So you can be. So who's
That's
playing?
Brilliant.
Who's playing Misfits? Oh, Misfits songs are at Coachella this year. Come see Misfits songs.
Dude,
have you ever seen Foo Fighters songs? I mean, oh my God, Foo Fighters songs live are incredible.
Pat, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I hate most of what comes out of that goddamn face.
I can't help it.
That is fucking brilliant.
You change your name to songs. It is. Yeah,
it's just Misfits songs.
Hey, let's go see Black Flag songs.
Oh, dude, did you see at the last Warped Tour they fucking Chiodo songs played?
Oh my God, Chiodo songs live, goosebumps, brother. Goosebumps.
Holy shit.
Because I don't remember the fucking members' names. I don't fucking know who the fuck they are. Technically, NoFX's original lineup was 3 guys, and they had a lead singer that ended up dying later on in a DUI after he was out of the band already. But, like, if lineups changed, like, you got to establish your top 3 in NoFX are definitely Fat Mike, El Jefe, and Eric Melvin.
Yeah.
So, or no, sorry, Smelly, Eric Melvin, and Fat Mike. El Jefe came in later on.
Yeah.
But, like, at a certain point, if you lost one of those other 3, you might be like, okay, well, let's go see NoFX songs.
Well, I think that's also evidence that you need to, when you get into a band, you need to establish something unique about yourself. Because I'm thinking about, like, Rancid. They go, you look at Rancid, you're like, if Tim Armstrong's not there, who's not going to sing and not play guitar?
I didn't even think of that.
And then if Lars Frederiksen, who's gonna not sing and not play guitar if Tim Armstrong's not there? And
like, I mean, like, what would you do if that guy wasn't doing the things he's not doing?
Yeah, and then if Lars Frederiksen's not there, who's gonna sing and play for Tim
and wake him up
and wake him up and remind him he's not British. What is this accent? It's clearly a California accent.
No, I forgot.
But also the last one too, though, and the bassist of Rancid also really established himself as a key element of the music.
As the guy who's not actually named Maxwell Murder, but everybody calls him Maxwell Murder.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, his name's Matt Freeman.
Yeah,
but everybody calls him Maxwell Murder.
Why didn't they call that song Matt Freedman?
Because that's the guy.
That's
who you're talking about.
We all thought it was about the
yeah, motherfucker.
Oh, the song that's named after a name that is just a bass solo.
Yeah.
We all assumed I was like, so the bassist must be named Maxwell Murder.
Maxwell Murder. Yeah.
Oh no, actually,
Matt Freeman.
Actually, no one in the band's named Hootie or R Blowfish.
They go like, bun, bun, and they end the song, and they're like, "Thank you very much," and everyone goes, "Ah," and then the crowd dies down, and then one person goes, "Who's Maxwell Murder?"
See, I thought it was
Who's Max?
Lars turns. He's like, "All right, everyone, give it up for Matt Freeman." Everyone goes, "Who?
Who's Matt Freeman?
Is he friends with Maxwell Murder?
Is he coming out?" Ooh, get the bass player out of the way. Where's Matt?
Is Matt Freeman gonna give Maxwell Murder his other bass?
No, I forgot the clip I sent you of Rancid talking about when they're playing
Billy Joe Armstrong.
Gilmaster.
Yeah.
And they're like, and they had Billy Joe from Green Day play a show with them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, this was great. He had a great time and all this stuff." And he's like, "Hey, do you want to join the band?" And
I don't want to play guitar.
I didn't even think the fact of like how funny would it be to have
play
Tim
guitar?
Armstrong, Billy Joe Armstrong, and you're like, okay, so Matt, you got to change your name to Armstrong.
Yeah.
hey, Max.
Lars.
I mean Matt.
What's your name again?
Max. You got to change your name. Wait, what did you say your name was? Matt.
Lars. You're scary. You can keep your name.
I've been calling him Max this whole time. Max Armstrong.
Hell yeah. What a good conversation.
Speaking of unstable artists, what?
Can I be honest?
No.
I have a big penis.
See, I said no, honest. And then that's what he said.
And it slaps on my six pack a lot.
Oh boy. He ain't talking beer, ladies.
That is how I let Steph know I like stuff. I walk up to the six pack and I go, "I like beer. I like beer.
I like this.
I like beer." Should do it on her butt. I like it butt.
I like butt.
I like butt. No, so I haven't listened to this since the last time we podcasted about this album. Mm-hmm. And every time I listen to it, I'm always fascinated with how much you like it. Because it does sort of so musically, it sits outside of what I understand to be like your preferred music.
Yeah.
But thematically, because I started to notice when I got deeper into the album, I was like, oh yeah, this album is like intentionally trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And you are much more a fan of music trying to be funny than I am. And I was like, oh yeah, Pat's really into that shit.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it's not the issue that I have with most rap albums, especially from when growing up, I don't know if they're still doing it nowadays.
The skin color.
The skits.
What?
The skits.
Oh.
Little skits in between. And I was like, where it's just like, because most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, they're long, clunky, funny fucking sketches. They're not good comedically, is what I'm saying. It's like they're not funny. I was
just listening to, it was like a month or so ago, no, a couple weeks ago, the new Mexican OT album just dropped. And I like me some Mexican OT. I think he's cool. Fat Mexican dude that fucking he'll get into like bullfighting and shit. He's just a funny guy. But yeah, his album was it was like school themed. So it would be shit where it would just be them being out, like they'd be outside of school and be like, man, I don't want to go to school. Yo, someone get me a fucking blunt. I'm going to smoke this blunt. Oh, yeah. Yo, and like a girl would walk by. He'd be like, yo, bitch, you going to give me head later? And she's like, you know what, Mexican OT? We're teenagers. I'm going to give you head later, Mexican OT.
Yeah.
And then the teacher would be like, hey, you kids smoking weed? And he'd be like, man, suck my dick and da-da-da and all this shit. And it would just be like, and then it would be like, next song. And you're like, why is any of that happening?
Yeah, why did I just hear that?
This is all random.
You hear Ludacris was okay with it.
I was gonna say because I listened to Word of Mouth. His skits were pretty good.
Well, and so to me, when a band can take Reggie and the Full Effect has the kind of like the range, even since I think something I was talking about last time, and even maybe when we brought this up on the last episode, but the theatrics of it, the multiple bands, this album has multiple songs on it that are from technically other bands that are just him doing all of those as well. Yeah, and a lot of times he will open for himself on tour.
Yeah.
So Fluctuation is one of the bands I believe, and Death Notronic. No, I don't know.
No, dude, I didn't.
Common Denominator. He says, "I'm Klaus from Common Denominator," which is kind of like a Technotronic.
I didn't realize that was fucking happening. I randomly found a review for this album from back in the day, and it was like giving. Cool. It was or I don't know if it was a review or it was like a retrospective on Reggie and the Full Effect.
Yeah,
and he was like kind of being centric to this because I think this is his biggest album, right?
I don't know if it's I don't know about the success or anything like that, commercially,
but from the fandom.
This is
it's the most
to me,
beloved.
This is his pinnacle. To me, this is his pinnacle for sure. And I think it's a great album.
And then so it was kind of like a retrospective, and there was a part where he was saying in the lore of Reggie and the Full Effect. Because apparently this one's the few times he's autobiographical. Usually it's all kind of in a separate world.
Yeah.
But he was going through a divorce on this one.
Yeah.
So and he's like, I gotta write songs about this or else I'm gonna go crazy.
Songs not to get married to. Is a great album title.
He kept it in theme with all the pretend shit, and apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, which I might be, probably am, but he was killing off the characters or all this other shit. I forget exactly what happened, but he was killing off characters or something, so he could then do this as him, and then went back into character.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Yeah, he's mentally unstable.
I was mixed. He comes off very mentally unstable. If I say anything about this album, it's very clearly he's not well.
Yeah, this is to me, this is almost a way, way, way better Wesley Willis.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Wesley Willis was the guy who does Rock and Roll McDonald's. And stuff like that, the black guy with the head.
Yeah.
The big bump on his head.
Yeah.
But this is
Reggie's just got a bump on his heart.
This is an emo Wesley Willis. This is
okay.
You know what I'm saying? He has this but he's immensely talented.
Yeah.
And he truly does have this again, this it's around when I got into this band was around the same time that I was getting into I think at first I originally got them mixed up with Big D and the Kids Table a lot. Just because it's Reggie
very
and the
different
Full Effect.
bands,
Me first and the Gimme Gimmes.
Yeah. Same progression of the words.
But once I found out
Me first and the Gimme Gimmes. Big D and the Kids. Yeah, it has the same cadence.
So the same idea with him, and it's but then finding out stuff he's in the Get Up Kids and all this other stuff. I never really gave a shit about the Get Up Kids. I still don't necessarily.
I for the longest time thought they were 4 girls.
Yeah.
And then I went back and checked them out, and I was like, oh, they're also for pussy dudes. So I like the Get Up Kids now.
And it's really funny too, because I still, even after becoming such a fan of his, I still never really gave it that much of a
you
a
also
chance.
too when we talked about Fall Out Boy, you were like, this is good, but it's not like doing anything for me emotionally.
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy is like the logical next step to the Get Up Kids, so that would make more. Because if you listen to whatever that whatever the big Get Up Kids album is, it sounds very similar to Take This to Your Grave by Fall Out Boy. Okay. Yeah, something to write home about, and then because that was in '99. Take This to Your Grave was '03. So like you hear Take This to Your Grave, and then you hear Something to Write Home About, and you go, that's why Take This to Your Grave sounds like this. It's the same thing when you hear early Blink-182, and then you hear The Descendants, and you're like, that's why Blink-182 sounded the way they did.
Yeah.
So if you're whatever about early Fall Out Boy, you're gonna be whatever about the Get Up Kids.
So, but with Reggie in the Full Effect, it just had this weird, chaotic. It's probably why I love Mutoid Man so much. It's why I love Dave Grohl as a musician so much. Like the fact that the choices he makes as a musician is always music forward.
Sure.
Like at this point, that's something that I'll never talk shit about Dave Grohl about, is the fact that like he, as far as a rich guy, he's not a rich guy that's like gimme. Like he's like, all right, I'm a rich guy. Now I can do whatever the fuck I want. And he'll be like, I want to make a Bee Gees album. Yeah. And he's like, I want to work on this. Well, I want to work on the same recording equipment that Led Zeppelin did for the 1976. You know what I mean? Like he's like doing cool musician shit with his money. And I really respect that.
People like Dave Grohl the same reason people like Shane. Because when they see Shane, like everyone knows Shane has money. Yeah. But they see Shane, they're like, oh, he's still like a normal guy. They go, that's like a normal guy. They look at him and they go, that's what I would do if I had a bunch of money. And like a bunch of musicians look at Dave Grohl and they go, that's what I would do if I was famous and had a bunch of money. Yeah. Like they have a bunch of money and a bunch of fame, but they still have the tendencies of the common man. Yeah. And that's why people fuck with them.
And a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like, so like that's the thing, is like going back to the skits in albums and stuff. I think I'm somebody who says and feels like truly comedy makes everything better. I really do think in if you inject comedy in almost any genre of movie, it adds. It never takes away.
So for me, I would prefer, and this is a little bit of splitting hairs, but I think it's a more concise version of what I prefer, is rather than just flat out comedy, I prefer things that have a tongue-in-cheek nature to it. So it's not just like flat out we're doing jokes. It's kind of like what Tarantino does. Yeah. You wouldn't say he's making...
He's not a comedic director.
He wouldn't say he's a comedic director or he's necessarily making jokes, but there's a lighthearted nature to what he's doing. Yeah. And that's all the bands I like are not... they're not flat out funny.
They don't take themselves too seriously.
That's what I prefer.
That's what it is.
And that stuff, while it's not them trying to be funny, it comes off as funny in certain areas.
And with something like Songs Not to Get Married To, it is very important and very real subject matter that he's turning into these really great, timeless songs. Like every time I listen to this album, I'm like, God damn it, it's still fucking awesome. It still has those things where it's just like, it doesn't sound like it's super emo. Yeah, I mean it's super emo. Like there's pop songs, there's jokey songs, and that's what I'm saying. Is like this is him talking about his divorce. Yeah, but it's also him like going like this beat is. Yeah, and he's still going like, "Hello, Americans." You know, like
jumping
he's just
off what you're saying. Can I give him a huge compliment? Yeah. While I don't love, it's funny. There's like that short 30-second, not even a sketch, but it's like
the Big Daddy.
Yeah, literally that
loves to smoke crack.
That that track is when I stop liking the album.
Oh, really?
Right before that, I love it because he's basically writing like pop punk, emo, and hardcore songs. Yeah, and like a screamo song, and then he kind of gets a little bit more electronic, and I'm just not the big. I don't. But that's the thing. I don't think any of it's bad. It's just not my taste, because I will give him major props, because this album, I mean, if there's 12 songs, there's like 8 genres. Yeah. And he does all of them very well. Like, that was a thing that gave me mad respect for him. I was like, oh, this dude knows a lot about music.
Yeah. Like and I think that's what I really appreciate about bands. That's really what I've focused on, I think, a lot when I pick bands that I want to listen to. It's bands that are filled with
musicianship,
not
knowledge.
band members. You know what I mean? Like that. I'm not a bass player. I'm a musician.
Yeah,
I play bass.
Yeah,
and maybe that's even the only one. But like you're not just into it to like what's the bass part? Like they're thinking about what fits best.
Yeah, the
for
bass
this. They're
is
thinking
just,
about the song, not my part.
The bass
song.
is just sitting there waiting for the guitars to tell him the root notes.
Right, and this is like, no matter what, he's got plenty of fucking goofball shit. Like, I think the one after this is No Country for Old Musicians.
Yeah,
and that was apparently 100% crowdfunded. Because I don't know if no. There was one before that. There was another album that he put out after this that was again, like, to me, this is when he started to put out like some of his like it's the best sounding, it's the best constructed like albums and shit.
Yeah.
And then there was another album, I can't remember the name of that one, but there was one right after that was called No Country for Old Musicians that was completely crowdfunded. That was not as great. And like that's what I think the thing is like, if he is, in my opinion, one of the truest artists that I know of, because of the fact of like, if it's not inspired, if it's not him doing it, and like something like that, I don't think so. Like whether he put this out and then had it like put out, like distributed because of them, or if the crowd was like, all right, well, we raised this amount of money, and he's like, all right, I'll do a record, and then did it. It's almost a way. It's a weird theory that I've connected to like a tattoo artist, where if I go to a tattoo artist, one of my biggest things with tattoo artists when I was growing up was the fact
is them just going, you seriously want this?
Yeah.
No. And then them doing it.
Well, it was a lot of times where I'd go like, there was like a business.
You're really going to put this on a 14-year-old man? That's you.
It's the difference between an artist and somebody into it for business. Like, I would go in there into what I thought was a business and go, I want this and I want it, and then how much? And they say, okay, this much. And I go, all right. And they'd be like, well, I don't want to do it today. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like, I pay you. Yeah, I pay you money. You put it on my fucking, like, that's how this works. But I can't, over time, I was like, they're putting it on your body for the rest of your life.
Yeah, they got to prep.
I'm going to make sure that they are feeling it.
Yeah.
Because they're an artist. I want them to put their most into it.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of times, it ended up being where most of my tattoos would be like, what do you want to do?
You can't draw this rat eating a donut today, sir? God damn it, this is art.
Well, it got to a point where
I
I'm
need
like,
my art now.
Legitimately, brother, legitimately, this is what it would come down to, where I'd go into the place and I'd be like, hey, what do you think about this? And if they're like, huh, that'd be funny. And I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like they would be, if they were inspired by the idea, then I would get it. Like, or
you know what?
do you
I'll
want
find
to do?
Someone else to draw a Cartman fucking Lola rabbit, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna take my Calvin pissing on Osama bin Laden elsewhere. Thank you very much.
We're gonna post a full picture of Pat in his underwear so you understand these jokes.
My Yakuza of shame. My Yakuza bodysuit of shame. But no, I think I think like overall, like if you're just like, here, make art, and you just give them like, and they're able to do it, it doesn't mean that they're the greatest artist of all time. They're just the most reliable in that skill set.
Yeah.
Like you can go like, give me a car, driving through the desert, draw it and draw me in it or something like that. You're essentially a characterist at that point, or a characterist. How do you say it?
Well, that's the thing. Artist.
But like that's the thing. It's like you're not the greatest artist. You're just a, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but to be fair, I think there's certain art that like you can do in a very solitary way, but truthfully, like most art worthwhile or worth giving a damn is a like symbiotic experience between the artist and the consumer.
And I think the same thing happens with comics, by the way.
Yeah.
I think where it gets to a point where like you're not living anymore. You're not doing things that you like. You are not living your life anymore.
Yeah.
You're living something else. Like you're not making. You have to make that time to do those things that
you got to be a real person.
What make you you? Like the fact that like. What would you do? What I would
it's
like
when
to do.
New York comics just write a bunch of jokes about the subway, and I'm like, you're just writing about jokes on the way to your spots.
Yeah, you're right. You're writing about your experience traveling to doing comedy. And like that, and like so. What else? But I was at this club, and you're like, okay, so now you're just doing comedy. You're doing jokes about doing comedy.
And then it's like, okay, well, what else did I do?
That's the funniest thing.
I flew an airplane to go do comedy.
Right.
I think I was actually thinking about that. Something very similar to this recently where a lot of because I think a lot of people like artists and also like hardcore fans of certain artists who are like they don't do anything wrong, they can get really up their own ass about shit, and they don't think you have to like consider the audience in any way. And I gotta be honest, I think this developed in my head as a comedian because it's like I could be the most unique butterfly in the world, and I could be the most pure artistic comedian, and it's like, if they're not laughing, I didn't do my job right. So I think that heavily affected my perception on things, because it is like, I don't know, yeah, I'm sure there's this guy who's the best guitar player, but if he just sits in his bedroom and plays the guitar there, who gives a shit? So it's like, people get like people like freak out because they're like, oh, the audience might affect my art a little bit. And it's like, yeah, they're gonna. Now, don't let them tell you what to do because you're the artist at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they're consuming your product. But there is like, if they stop consuming your product, then you got to go back to working at a fucking bank or something.
And there's also a thing about like, you think about most jobs or most positions or things in general, like over time, you either go on to another position or you try another thing eventually sometimes unless you are having success in that business like somebody like Thrice I feel like was a band for a while where they were just doing it just for the sake of like either maybe it's contractually maybe it's whatever because it truly did not sound inspired. I've heard inspired art from them.
That's when they become the fucking corporation you were talking about earlier.
So like something like this this to me was it, it being about his divorce and it being in the time period that it was just like perfect that like he found an outlet for this thing. What? Something dripped?
No, something hit my shirt and I don't know if it was my hat. I thought something dripped on me and I'm just happy nothing dripped on me.
Thanos snapped and he's starting to fall apart.
That would be funny if in the middle of a podcast Thanos snap and you're just like, Andy, what happened? I'm sorry I talked about your wife's pussy. What happened?
But there's this isn't like in response to what we were talking about earlier with like Jesus Peace and Every Time I Die, like airing out the dirty laundry. Like this is and including the skits as well. It's an efficient album because it has a sense of humor. It has levity. It's like a rom-com album. Like this, if I were to categorize this out,
you could do this as a soundtrack.
Yeah, this would be this would be perfect for a fucked up love story.
You could break up every song and create very different scenes.
Little mini operas, you know what I mean? Like little like fucking trapped in the closets for each thing because it's like that kind of vivid like storytelling.
It's just Reggie being like, and I've divorced my wife.
And I divorced my wife.
I found her with a midget.
I'm surprised he didn't do something similar to that. But like it just in general, he has like this this incredible way to make like great like pop punk music. Great pop music in general. This is like an unmedicated Bill Murray in my opinion. Bill Murray on his medication is like Bill Murray. I like Bill Murray. But if he's off his meds, that's Reggie in the full effect.
Another critique is because it's very clearly he does everything, which is very oh my god, hell yeah, that's so talented. But also on top of that, there was a stiffness to it. But that, to be fair, this shit came out in 2005. And that was like the first wave of people doing the one-man band stuff like that, where they were like, everyone was starting to figure out MIDI and shit. Like, people had been doing MIDI
Well, he was the keyboard player in Get Up Kids, so he was like he had a little step up.
Yeah, so it was a little. The
His
music was
Moog.
or the microchord and shit.
Yeah, dude, hell yeah. He had all that shit. By the way, I've seen him live, and it works live.
Oh, he's got the whole thing.
Well, he does. He's got his keyboard, and he has a live band that plays with him, which I think are members of Get Up Kids in some cases.
Well, and that's why I'm so excited. I got one more thing I remembered I wanted to say about artists, but that's why I'm so excited to tell you what I want us to do. Next week.
Yeah.
Because I got I was listening to this album and I go, oh, I have my version of this.
Okay, perfect.
And but no, I remember the one thing too I was gonna say about artists where, fuck, I lost it already. What was I saying? Artists like first businesses, or like that's the thing I was gonna say. No, it's just
nice.
This is sort of like slightly off topic, but it was kind of on topic earlier. But because it was just this thought I was having the other day that I want to like say out loud to hash out, but because I just get very, I don't know, I just get very annoyed with artists that are never being mindful of like the fans or what they want. And it's probably because I've just so desperately wanted fans the whole time, and now that I have about 10 or 12 of them,
when they start
I'm
going,
very
like,
appreciative.
It looks different. And you're like, shut the fuck up. Why does everything look different? Shut up.
I'll fucking kill myself in front of you right now. No, not that. No, just because it's like the more, and two, like I haven't had a day job in a year, and I've just been, I haven't been making money, but I've been living the life of a podcaster comedian just without actually making the money part. And I'm just like, you have these moments where you just sit there and you're just like, no one needs me. Yeah. I just do this because it's fun, and I've convinced people that an hour of me will make your day better. So it's like, and you can kind of extrapolate that and like zoom out and extrapolate that to all artists, and it's like, obviously life wouldn't be living without art. But from a pure functionality standpoint, like no one needs you over any other artist, and also, like, you don't contribute to the world in a, like, real, oh, I fucking grew these crops and now we can eat and we won't starve for the winter. So it's like your existence is being essentially subsidized by productive people who then want to be entertained by you.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why, and again, the artist takes all the time to figure out the art and the best way to do it. So you don't want to give the audience the steering wheel, but like you don't want to be an angry bus driver being like, shut the fuck up and get on the bus.
Right.
You want to be like, is everyone comfy? We actually have seatbelts. I know your whole childhood there was no seatbelts on the bus for some reason.
How's the air?
Yeah,
air
you know
good?
what I mean? Like, how's the air? Does everyone feeling good? All right, now I'm going to fucking rip it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I go like, dude, I'm in charge, but don't worry, it's going to rip when you get on my bus.
Metallica does it right now.
Yeah.
Like they do it now where like you can, now they're like, all right, you can pay an exorbitant amount of money, but like then now we know you're down.
And that goes
and like
back
they
to,
come out there and they go like, hey, how's it going, man? Like they have a little meet and greets and like, but they like keep it reasonable.
They have the cool ass stage where there's always a good view.
And they always have like those VIP guys, like the VIP people are all like, they get their first dibs. They get to,
like, Lars dropped his stick and it hit me in the head.
You get to build those relationships and stuff like that. But speaking to what you were saying about the whole like, oh yeah, like nobody kind of needs me kind of thing. That's the whole reason I came out here, was to figure out what am I good? Where's my place? Yeah. Because it's like one of those things of like saying to come out here, I'm coming out here to make it. No, I'm coming out here to work. Yeah. I want to come out here and figure out, and I've figured out I have real actual value when coming up with ideas. For fart porn. Writing. Fart porn.
Writing fart porn.
Like obviously.
Performing in fart porn.
Critiquing fart porn, rating, reviewing part, but like also like and this is kind of also turning into like a mini plug at the end, but
your penis, a mini.
But our show.
Sorry, I got a lot of goofs.
That we just did.
Got way too many goofs. Yeah, that show was fucking sick.
Like the fact that how many unsolicited, like we did a show at the
like a bunch of people shocked, not shocked, but just kind of like that was kind of cool.
Well, no, the fact that like people that you don't know, or that people that are starting with a smaller crowd, ending up with a bigger crowd than you started, having a thing. We did a show at the Creek in the Cave. Called it was kind of meant to be an improvised
that was the
comedy
part.
show. And it ended up being based on album titles.
Yeah.
But it ends up being...
it ended up turning into a talk show.
Right. It ends up turning into a talk show, and it kind of has this thing, but during the show, it kind of growing and changing and stuff like that. Afterwards, being like, having people come up... Because, like, you know, you can feel like, oh, yeah, that was a really great time or something like that. It happens at the Heist a lot of times.
Yeah.
And where we are personally fulfilled, but... The fact that people come up and go, that was was a cool thing. That was really awesome.
We go through it with stand-up all the time. You finish up, because I do it too. It's like, I do it too. You see the person, you've been talking to them in the green room for the past hour.
Yeah.
You didn't even watch their set, or you watched it and it was fine, but just out of politeness, you go, hey, good set.
Or you heard the crowd laughing. You're like, hey, I know you had a good set.
Hey,
I know
good
you're
set.
Great
And
job.
you can feel when someone else says it, you're like, oh, they're being polite, but there's not really anything behind it. It was like I remember we were all sitting in a circle. This one dude just randomly, never met him. He just comes up to me, he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey man, I don't mean to bother you, but like the show you guys did tonight, I stumbled on it in the middle of it and shit. Black guy clearly. Stumbled on. He's like, shit, that shit was cool as hell. No, but for real though, just out of nowhere, this was like an hour after the show was over. Yeah. Comes up to me and was like, I thought what you guys did up there was really cool.
Yeah. So like that kind of stuff is like reassuring to go like, oh, I am actually adding something that's noticeably different.
Yeah.
And even in this small amount of people, like, you know, I think like a handful of tickets sold, but like handful of tickets sold turning into, you know, double that by the end.
Well, that was
and it's like, oh shit. And even if it is comics that are like,
well, they sat down and stayed.
Yeah,
How many times do you pop into a show?
Never.
And you
never. Literally, never.
Wait, what I did that last week. What did I say?
What?
Yeah. Well, I forget. I did some anyway.
I can't remember.
I forget what I said. No, like, but like there were comics who like they popped in and then we saw them. They stayed like the whole show.
Yeah.
No, but it was funny too because we kept saying like, yeah, we doubled the audience, and it just reminded me of that one scene from The Office where it was like Pam was like, oh yeah, I doubled my sales from last quarter, and then Andy goes, what, from 2 to 4? And it's just Pam going, yup.
Yeah, same idea. So that same idea of having that like fulfillment of going like, you know, like I'm actually being able to go like, yes, I do. Like I'm able to show my value, and that's an important thing a lot of times because you can get, if you don't have that feedback, then you kind of just sit there and go like, what am I actually doing?
I think just brand. I think the brand you and me together and even separately we're trying to establish is just like whatever we do, whether it's a live show, a podcast, stand-up comedy. It's like it's us just being like, hey, if you take a chance on us, like give us your hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, you won't be mad that you gave us that hour.
I guarantee it. I've been doing a lot more with my stand-up. And actually I had that kind of same fulfillment too. I had the show we did last night, the little the sets at Funniest Person in Austin
I hate
contest.
doing competitions.
I went into it with the mindset of like, it's a 5-minute set. They got a pretty good crowd, you know, like.
No, I get too competitive. I get too competitive.
Yeah.
Every single fucking time. I never win competitions, and it's not. I fucking destroyed last night.
Yeah.
And then every single time, one of my friends win, and I catch myself being a little bitch in my head.
Yeah.
And I go, that's why I don't like competitions.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so happy I was asked, but I haven't done a comp in forever. And I got reminded, I go, yes, because it turns me into a little fucking bitch.
Speaking of popping into shows, after my set, I just went out and sat in the crowd. And I just watched, like, because I was like, it was still pretty light. But I went out and popped in the crowd and watched the rest of the show. And, like, one or two, you know, like, at first I'm watching and I'm like, I really hope this person doesn't do good. And then they do pretty good.
Into a little cunt.
But also they're like my friend. Again, they're friends. Yeah. And they're doing well. And then like after like 2 or 3 people do it, there's not a first, second, third. It's whoever gets the top votes.
Yeah.
After like 2 or 3 of my friends like do really well, I'm like, damn, this is a good show.
Yeah, it
like,
was a really
like
good
legitimately
show.
Like the 2 people, like Ridley was hosting, And then like the 2 or 3 people before me, I didn't see their sets, but I know that they're like, we were joking around in the back. I know they're funny people.
Yeah.
But then everybody I saw after me, I'm like, damn, this is just like a good, like these people are actually kind of just enjoying a good free show. Like I wasn't even like, I got to the point during the thing where I was just enjoying the show. And then like one of the other guys came up afterwards and I was like, hey man, you fucking killed. He did, by the way, he did kill. I thought he was going to win. And he's like, bro, he's like, I was sitting in the back. He's like, I said something to Rebecca. He's like, this is a fucking great lineup. You should charge for this show.
Yeah.
It's
funny too. Your positivity is making me realize why I can't do competitions.
Yeah, but I'm that guy usually. In any art, the only arts competition I ever liked to compete in was jujitsu because I'm like literally I am the one that can see, like it can go to the judges, but like for the most part, it's like you have to be the one that performs. Artists, but art, like our art is subjective. Dude, like jujitsu is not subjective.
You know what's funny too? Is like the deeper I get into this and the more I understand like the industry and keeping it to Drag the Lake, like the music, any of the industries, any of these like artistic adjacent industries.
Yeah.
It makes me go like, dude, is it propaganda when they tell you to not have a fallback plan?
Yeah, when they're just like,
because
believe in yourself. You're like, no, that's
no,
safe.
not that.
Oh.
It's that shit where it goes, because if you're looking at it from like, how do I do this in the most artistically pure way?
Yeah,
it's dude, think about it. It's have a job that lets you be flexible with your art, so then you never have to actually worry about money.
Yeah.
So you can just do it to do it.
Right.
And then you see these people who are like, no, I'm just that. And then they do their art and then they like, that's the only skill they have. So then they start doing things to make a little, it's what you see it all the time where, and I like shit like this, I don't really care. But it's like you see like when David Cross is like Mr. Hipster and then he's like, oh, I'm going to go do Alvin and the Chipmunks or whichever fucking movie he did.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but if I do that, then it funds my cool stuff and shit. And you're like, sure, but in a perfect world, you never would have done Alvin and the Chipmunks, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it always makes me wonder. I go, maybe they should have kept telling people, maybe they should have told people to get into like, I don't know, graphic design or video editing jobs that you could do from your computer.
Have a part-time job.
Dude, I was thinking about that the other day because it's like, all the stuff that stresses me out is success and money related. And if I just like I had that realization, I was like, if money was covered, it's brother, if someone tells you money can't buy you happiness, but I'd rather be sad in a nice chair and a nice car with a big screen TV. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be more content and like not spazzing the same way I do now and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, and then my art would be, now is your drive there's all these variables, but it's the one thing I was considering where it's like, yeah, what if you could just do a bullshit job and then that frees you up to actually do the shit you like to do? But who knows?
You got to find the right.
I'm also not successful, so I could just be completely wrong.
It's just the right amount of bullshit. Every once in a while, it's harder when I decided a long time ago, most of the traditional routes or the ways that have proven successful in most cases with entertainment or anything like that, I'm not good at or comfortable with. Like whether it be finding about like algorithms or like doing the thing of like this are some ways of topics and things that you should do, and like after a while you're just starting to make content just to continue to keep that thing instead of doing content you want to do or things you want to do. Like the same thing with stand up. We've talked about this a million times where I'm like, for me, quality over quantity, but like I still need to find a balance between getting reps, some kind of reps, and that are fulfilling, but also still like not having to do the thing where you're like, come wait in a room for fucking 4 hours and to see if your name gets pulled and you might go up And it's like one of those things, but
Or is
and,
that
and
that-
I'm not. By the way, I'm not talking about Kill Tony.
No,
I'm
you're
talking about
open mics.
how many other mics in fucking
Yeah.
Austin were like, come to this fucking coffee house and perform outside. And
'cause Kill
maybe
Tony's
if we pull your
not-
and you're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, Kill Tony's not getting reps. Kill Tony's hopefully these comics like
Like-
me and I stand out and stuff.
For
You're talking about reps.
yeah, for the amount of times that
And there's the other version where it's like, all right, maybe I have to suck this person's dick or clam the right way.
brother, I have heard a disheartening amount of times recently, even like within the past year, of like people are like, oh yeah, that person.
Have you ever caught
did
someone
this.
doing it?
No,
I don't want to. I'm gonna stay
caught somebody in the act of. Do you mean or
of gargling clam,
no, not that,
dude. I caught someone in the act of because the certain person was a female that they were trying to butter up. So rather than gargling balls, they were gargling clam, and
Yeah.
you just like, I'm just hearing them like sweet talk them, and it was just like, oh my
And
god,
and
this
you know
is
the
so embarrassing.
Usually, and it's like and like the people that seem to wield the most power or be gargled the most usually kind of fucking suck. Personally, usually suck, but like professionally, you see them and you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, that's how you guys can tell we and Pat are so talented because we're doing terrible in our careers. That's because we're real artists.
But that's the thing is like I'd rather be, for some reason, I want to figure out the balance of like being
do you ever get mad?
artistically fulfilled. Yeah, I always get mad.
No. I was sorry, I cut you off. But do you ever get mad when you're like, I just wish I could be a fucking phony?
Yeah.
I literally have moments where I was like, why do you have integrity, you stupid fuck?
Like, hey, it's a great opportunity. You should go to this event. I'm like, I don't want to go.
Yeah, and I
to
go,
that
the made up perfect comedian in my head wouldn't do that, so I can't do that.
and that's what I'm like. I like.
I'm also really bad at networking.
Yeah,
I
well,
can't like pretend to.
Again, like
I can't pretend to give a shit. It's not like a fuck you thing. It's just like when there's just nothing to talk about anymore.
I'm not interested in it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not, it's the same. It has not changed. It has not changed from school. If I am not interested in what you do or say, I don't like. I'm not going to talk about that.
I do.
I can talk to anybody, but not necessarily about what they do or.
I've been
they're
trying to be
interested in.
better about it, just because it makes you come off like more personable. But I catch myself all the time. Someone will be like, "How you been, man?" And I just yap forever.
Yeah.
And then I just stare at them, and then my brain will be like, "Ask how they have been," and
Yeah.
I'll almost be like, "But I don't care." And then you're like, "You're a bad person.
Yeah.
Be nice to people."
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of. I'll.
That I do feel bad about because that is a little selfish where it's like you just yapped forever.
Yeah.
And then at no point do you go, what have you been up to?
Yeah. I always go. I think I'm better at networking than I think, just because somebody goes, what have you been up to? I'll go like, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Pretty hanging in there. How about you? And I just go like, because I know that's why you're asking. You want to talk about your thing.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, if you don't
Also,
have
too-
anything, we can go back to me. But like, you know what I
My
mean?
favorite one is someone's like, so how many spots you have tonight? And I go,
Shut
the
the
fuck
fuck
up.
up.
Shut the. How about this spot in your fucking
Oh,
head?
are you on the show tonight? No, I'm just hanging out.
I hate when-
Stupid.
Shut the fuck. How about this spot in your forehead and you pull out a sniper rifle?
Like that spot?
How about that?
I got that
this
spot.
I got this one spot right here. I got a couple spots in the chamber if you got more questions, actually. So next week, my version of songs to get a divorce to,
Yeah.
songs to not get married to,
Either one.
by Reggie in the Full Effect. I realized
Same outcome.
What?
Same outcome. You're single
Oh,
at the end.
I thought you said somehow dum dum, and I was like, that was really mean.
Yeah, whatever, stupid fuck. Go ahead.
Whatever, gay guy.
Whatever, dumb fuck.
So my version, I realized in the middle of listening to this, my version of that is album minus band by Bomb the Music Industry. That is Jeff Rosenstock's first endeavor as a one-man band. So I was like listening to this, and I like all other albums, but this was it was their first album, which it's funny. It started off as his first album, and then eventually they just became a band.
So, Bomb the Music Factory.
Explode the Music Warehouse.
Did I say it wrong?
Oh, wait, I thought you were being funny.
No, wait, what is it?
It's Bomb the Music Industry.
What did I say?
Bomb the Music Factory.
I thought I said.
It was so funny. I was like, he's
about?
clearly being a dick.
I did the same thing you did. I was just like, what? Why are you saying that? I didn't say anything wrong. I did.
Like, I said the name right.
What did you say?
What are you looking at me about? Are you talking about what was the band's name? Blue Day?
Hold on. Album minus band is right. Correct?
Yeah, album minus band.
I put Music Factory.
It's so funny. Bomb the Music Industry. Album Music
I got
Factory.
it. Hold on now.
Hold on now, Andy.
Industry.
Andy. This is all an elaborate ruse.
Want to listen to the wrong album now? I'll tell you what. So, Bomb the Music Industry.
Yes, sir.
Is a one-man band.
So they were, and then they weren't.
What about this one on this album?
Is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is like the first Foo Fighters one with the blue shit and
I have no idea.
The first Foo Fighters album was literally just Dave. I don't know, it's called Dave Temple. Who the fuck? That's a comedian, right?
Yeah.
What the hell?
A black guy.
Black
Very
guy.
funny comedian.
Black.
All right. Okay.
But it's Dave Grohl.
I know him personally. I will see him many times.
I think I just listened to him on the Bonfire.
Dave Grohl?
He's opening up about his divorce.
Yeah.
No, he's
Dave Temple does all that shit.
No, Dave Grohl was the first Foo Fighters album was essentially a demo that he was like him doing all the stuff.
Yeah,
so was like the same idea with this, where he was just like, let me see if I can pull me a Dave.
But the difference is,
I'm getting names wrong.
You're
a stroke.
Yeah, you had a stroke, I think.
I am a 39-year-old man now.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. You don't look a day over fucking dead as fuck.
Come on.
You ugly
I'm alive
piece of
as
shit.
fuck. That was left-handed. That was pretty good for left-handed.
Missing? That was so good.
Barely. We can watch it in the replay. Harito, hit it up with the replay. Instant replay.
It's just some edited video of my face getting fucked. You're like, see, I got you. No, the last thing I was gonna say is, so rather than just like, oh, Dave Grohl recorded every piece. This, like Reggie in the Full Effect, is clearly he's using like computer, like MIDI drums.
He's
and
using
stuff.
computers.
Like that's the interesting thing about it, where it's like he's writing like punk and ska music, but very clearly using MIDI drums to do it.
On the music industry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said that a robot. I almost did it again. Bomb the Music Industry does punk and ska.
So that the first like three albums, it's all him making it, but it's like also he has no money, so he's like not gonna pay a guy to track drums. He's just gonna make the drums in GarageBand. He's
gonna hire a computer.
And it's very funny where a lot of the parts are just like, I remember at the time I wasn't used to how electric drums sounded, so I thought it was a real drummer, and I go, how in the fuck is he playing that?
That's how AI gets us, guys. It's not going to be like taking over. It's not going to be like Terminator. It's going to be residuals. They're going to ruin us financially. We're going to be like all the fucking theme music I've made for any of the podcasts over the days with loops and whatnot, and how many AI stuff, levelers I've used over the years. Oh, man, I'm fucking ruined. Oh, I thought it was going to be copyrights.
Ruin the day. Ruin the day. You AI'd your factory.
Bomb the music.
You
said factory. You did that to me.
Bomb the music bodega.
Bomb the music store, baby.
Album subtract band.
Rob the music store next week with Jeff Rosenstock.
Yes.
Rosenstock?
Well, not with him.
No, he's going to be here.
He will be. Oh, ooh.
Hold on. Let me check my.
Just almost smashed your phone.
He will be here.
I will also say, one thing I would suggest heavily doing.
Me?
For next week. Listen to that new Ended album. I would love to talk about that with you as well.
I will. I'll wear my Ended shirt then.
Maybe.
Let's hope
Hopefully they're still together. Actually, you know what? Don't wear the shirt. I really don't want them to break up. Who?
Capra.
Yeah, we broke up Capra.
We will not be talking about the Ended album next year. Next year.
We just get naked.